Namaste. Kindly settle down. Let's keep our devices in the silent mode. So let's continue with the session 3 of the day. Let me invite Umesh Bhaiya for carrying on the session. Over to you, Bhaiya.
ठीक है नमस्ते वणक्कम let us start this third session of the day 7. If there is any question, I'll take up the question. If there is any sharing, we'll listen to the sharing, and then we'll also try to summarize what we have discussed in the past 7 days. So any question?
First we said resolution is right feeling and right thoughts. And then when we are expanding that, we are saying resolution is clarity on those 9 things. So whether those two are the same, how that right feeling and right thought, whether the same is expanded into 8 or...
I mean, when we say resolution, resolution is basically right understanding, right feeling, and right thoughts.
All the 3.
Right understanding, right feeling, and right thought is the resolution within. When are we going to resolve? We may try to get some sort of solutions, but finding out solutions in living, like I'm having sort of feeling of opposition for someone, and then I'm trying to find out a solution for that. So what that solution could be? Trying to control the emotion, trying to control the feeling, try to have settled feelings within me when I'm interacting with that someone. So this is a solution. But I get completely resolved within myself, which means every single desire, thoughts, and expectation is guided by coexistence, harmony and relationship. This is the resolution. Okay. So having right understanding, right feeling, and right thoughts in me is the resolution. The same thing can be expressed in many different ways. So having those 9 things is also resolution, correct? Reaching to the state of love is also resolution. It means the same. The meaning is the same. But what is important is that my basic aspiration of continuity of happiness and prosperity will get fulfilled by right understanding, right feeling, and right thoughts. This is what we have been discussing from our introductory workshop. Now, in each level of the workshop, the right understanding, the meaning of right understanding is getting expanded and unfolded. Any other question?
And there also, first we are saying right understanding is understanding the situation, understanding the other human being like that. But now we are saying understanding is understanding the existential reality. So if it is understanding the existential reality, that is the single one. So only one thing is everything is in coexistence, there is a harmony, there is relationship. Only that is right understanding. So when I have some issue with someone, we are talking about I should have some right understanding about that, why she told that and all such things. So what is that relation?
Yeah, I mean, if we recall the content of right understanding in the introductory workshop, so what we have concluded in the introductory workshop, that for the fulfillment of my basic aspiration, right understanding, right feeling, and physical facility is required. And that right understanding is basically understanding harmony at 4 levels, right? Individual, family, society, nature, and existence. So we never said that understanding situations, understanding other people, right? even in the introductory workshop, the meaning of right understanding was the same. Understanding coexistence, understanding harmony, and understanding relationship. But the primary level. So in the primary level, we said, let us understand the whole expanse of our being. I am a human being, understand human being. I am living with human being, so understand human-human relationship. I am the part of the nature, so let us understand the human and the nature's relations. Same thing.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Bhaiya, I have a doubt. Yesterday morning, Ganesh sir, he said, he talked about the things of coexistence. So my doubt here is, when one form is going to decompose and it is going to transform into another form, for example, material. Now, as a self, one day I'm going to decompose in the nature, in a body, but my self is there. So when it is going to get into the form again, can I, on that time, I can remember all those things, whatever I have in past.
Okay. See, when we look into the material, this composition and decomposition is happening. Urta Tangchi, when it comes to the material, the composition and decomposition is happening. It's happening every moment. Even at this moment also, your cells are getting composed and decomposed. Correct? At this moment also. The imagination which is there in the self, it is there or it's not there. So since morning, many cells have composed and decomposed, but the imagination is still there. Right? It's still there. The same thing will happen. Any other question? See, what has been said, this right understanding of a unit activity, with this we are able to see the form and property. Okay. Are you seeing my form? Tell me about my form. Okay. Right. Okay. Are you able to see the properties of body? Okay. Close your eyes. Look at your body first. Open your eye. Look at your body. What are you seeing now? The form of your body, right? Close your eyes. Observe your body. Now what are you seeing? Yeah. Now you are seeing some interactions happening in the body, some effects happening in the body. So this effect, this interaction is the properties of the body. Correct? And how you are seeing this effect and interaction? Through sensations. Okay? Now if you close your eyes and start observing every small cell from your forehead to the finger, to the toe, and see that what are the things you are able to observe within the body, what are the things you are able to sense in the body. Yeah. Yeah, we are just trying to check the properties of a material, right? What is the meaning of the properties? Its effect, its interaction. Correct? You're breathing. You said that I'm able to see the breathing. So So when you are witnessing this breath, right, are you able to see that the breath is stuck at one particular point only, or it's inhaling and exhaling, both the things are happening? Correct? So that effect is there, right? This is the meaning of property. Now, this oxygen which you are inhaling and it is reaching to the navel point, then it stops and then you start exhaling. In the process, each of this molecule, right, is going inside the body and then you are exhaling. Let us take blood circulation. The blood is circulating in the body. Okay? Every single molecule of blood is in the space. Correct? But then are you able to see that the effect of every molecule with the another molecule, this is how the blood is circulating? Have you seen MRI? What do you see in MRI? Can you describe MRI? What do you see in the MRI? Very good. Very good. Yeah, that is what the meaning of, that's what the meaning of MRI, right? In the MRI, you get to see the cells, right? You get to see a gap in the cell, correct? The gaps in the cell. Then you get to see these different blood vessels, right? You also get to see the bone. All these things is there in the MRI. If you see the X-ray, in X-ray, you will see your bones, right? You will see the bone and you will see the gap. Just close your eyes and try to look your body as you are doing the scanning of your body, like MRI scanning. What will you will be able to appear? How it will appear? See, when we start looking into the form, we just start seeing this object. The heart is this particular shape, the kidney is this particular shape, the brain is this particular shape, my eyes are this particular. So we are just seeing at the form of the body. But start observing the properties of the body. What you will be able to see? Some threads, some cells. And all these threads and all these cells are submerged in the space. Correct? Now, when you are focusing on the body, you may not be able to see the form of the body. You just focus on the properties of this. Right? Similarly, just focus on the properties of the body. Okay? Don't look at the form of any person sitting in this hall, but just look at the properties of the people sitting in this hall. What is appearing in your imagination now? What is appearing in your imagination? Are you able to imagine something? What is that? How the body will appear? That's what I'm asking you. How the body will appear?
Sometimes I am able to see only the borderline of my body
Yeah.
when I close my eye.
Yeah, you are seeing the borderline of your body, which means still you are seeing the form of the body, the shape of the body. I'm asking you to look at the property of the body. The property of the body, which means there is an effect is happening within the unit and the effects in happening with other unit. So that one cell, something is happening in that one cell, that composition, decomposition, right, extraction and contraction is happening within that cell, and that cell is interacting with the other cell. It is creating an effect on the other. So if you just start looking at the body, just properties of the body, then you will be able to see some lines and some cells, right? What will appear? Just few lines and few cells, and every cell is in the space and every line is in the space. Correct? Now just visualize everybody here is the same, no form, but focus on the properties. Right? So in this hall, what you will see? What you will be seeing? Only lines and the cells which are there in the space. Correct? Are you seeing any form now? You are shifting, right? Becoming more subtle from this tool, from these broad things. You are shifting towards these minor things, the minute things, the subtler things. So the property is more subtler than the form. Right? Property is more subtle than the form. Then come to the natural characteristics. Natural characteristics of material, the bio order, right? And start looking at your body, start seeing the body with its natural characteristics. What are you seeing now? What is the natural characteristics of body? Right? Pulsation is there.
It is responsive to the external stimuli.
Pulsation is there. Right? So now what are you seeing? You are seeing some lines, you are seeing some cells. All these lines, all these cells are submerged in this space. And now what you are seeing? The pulsation. Right? What are you seeing? The pulsation. Now you are not seeing any shape because you are focusing on the body. You are going more subtler. Right? You are going more subtler. No shape is there, no color is there. And everything is submerged in the space. Right? When you are not focusing on the form and focusing only on the properties, then the shape will not be there. The material has a shape. Right? It is limited. But now the vision is getting developed. So from seeing from that broad things to the subtler things. Now what you will be seeing? The pulsation. Right? With this pulsation, look at the innateness of the body. What is the innateness? What is the innateness of material? What is the innateness of human body? Exist, formation, deformation. Now you'll start seeing that the cells are forming, deforming. Right? Not a single activity is continuous in the body. But these activities are changing. When the activity is changing, some formation, some deformation is taking place. Okay? Now expand your vision from your body to this hall and start seeing that what is happening in this hall. Right? And now to the whole SRM. Now take yourself to the whole earth. Now you bring the moon, Jupiter, sun, everything in between. Look at our whole galaxy, what is happening. In the whole galaxy, what you are able to see? There is a space, there are lines, there are cells, there are atoms, there are atomic structures. And each of these atoms, atomic structures, cells and the cellular structures are related and connected. And everything is happening in a very organized way. Are you doing anything for that? Whatever things are happening in your body at this moment, are you doing anything for that? It's happening in very organized way. Right? So that self-organization is there. Every unit is energized in the space. And then this coexistence is there. All these things is happening in a very definite way. Correct? Now in this all what whole you can imagine, start imagining now. Let us imagine there are minimum 500 Earths. There are minimum 500 moons. People say that there are millions of Earth. But let us start with 500 Earth. There are 500 Earth, there are 500 moons, there are 500 Jupiter, there are 500 galaxies, there are 500 sun, and everywhere what you are seeing now is the space, the lines, the cells, the atom, the atomic structure, and you are there in between all this. So what you are there, your presence in the whole existence is also due to the submergence and the coexistence. Are you able to visualize it? At least at the level of visualization, at the level of information, are you able to see to it? That everything which is happening around me is happening with certain law, the law of existence. It is happening in a very organized way. It is happening in a very systematic way. It is happening in a very harmonious way. I am not doing anything for that. This other person who is sitting next to me is also not doing anything for that. But it is happening, right? But it is happening. Having this understanding, having this clarity is basically the clarity of submergence. Okay? This is the clarity of submergence, that I am submerged and all other units are submerged. Having the clarity that there is a self-organization, there is inherent harmony, this is harmony. And then everything you will find that related and connected, right? See, we are so used to look at only the forms, so even all those effects which is happening within my body, I am not able to see to it. Correct? Effect which is happening in my body, I am not able to see to it. So there is some effect happening between the slider and the screen, even at this moment. But I am not able to see to it. When I will develop my vision to see that every single unit is submerged in the whole space, then I will be able to see that every unit and the effects of every unit on the other unit. Similarly, the effects of every organ, my organ of the body on the other organs of the body. Correct? All these things. Let us say stomach gets upset. Some effects are happening or not happening. But then on a very broader level, we get to see that some part of the stomach is having that sensation of pain. But that sensation, that irritation in the stomach has started from some other part. Right? And then it has got affected. The stomach got affected, but I am not aware of it. I am not aware of my body. If I am not aware of my body, if I am not aware of what is happening inside the body, I will not be able to see to it. Similarly, if I am not aware of myself and I am not aware of what is happening in the self, then I will not be able to see to it. If this thing is there in my imagination without my awareness, instead of this, if I realize my contemplation, at least if I initiate my contemplation, at least in the first phase, I can initiate the contemplation with an informations. Now we have two choices. One choice, keep having those sort of imagination that my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my dean, my director, my children. Okay? Other choice, I can ponder upon, there is a space which is continuous and every single unit is submerged in the space. I can keep thinking upon the mutual fulfillment, interconnectedness, relatedness, the cyclic things of the nature. I can keep thinking upon what is the trust, what is respect, what is the meaning of affection. If all those things are going in me, which means somehow I am trying to initiate the contemplation within me. And if such sort of contemplation would happen in me seriously again and again, then this will trigger my desire and the lower activities of the self, the B2. Right? So one of the things we can start doing now, what? Contemplation. But to do this contemplation, what is required? The content. So the clarity of on the content. If we develop more and more clarity on the content, we'll have more material to contemplate on. And with such enriched material, our desires, right desires will form. Okay? So what is the issue? Where is the issue? Even at the level of self, there is no issue. Right? That pure observer is there. That innate nature is there. I am not able to see to it, that is also not issue. Because I am in a process. Right? I am in a process of transformation. If I am putting seed of mango today, and if it takes 10 years to grow as a mango tree, how many years will it take? So what is the issue? What is the issue? There is a coexistence, there is harmony, there is relationship, I am continuous, and the time is also continuous. Right? So there is no issue. There is only I need to invest myself in the process of my development. Even if I don't invest, the development is going to be happen. At this moment, if I don't invest myself, the development will happen. Right? Because that is what the design of the whole existence. But then it may take a lot of time. Maybe another 10, 15, 30 bodily journey, then I will get aware of things, and all those 10, 15, 20 bodily journey going through the same suffering. If the mother-in-law says, how are you? I get upset. Same thing will go for the next 10, 15, 12, 30 bodily journey, and then I will get aware, then I will take efforts. Efforts has to be there. Without efforts, this transformation is not possible. But then I can start taking that efforts today only. So what is the issue? Yeah. That is also not an issue. Yeah. I am not able to, right? I am not able to, because my priority is right understanding. The priority is right feeling. The priority is right thought. When we look into the priority order, that becomes the priority number one. So that is also not issue. The issue is that I am in a process of transformation. I have my own speed. I have my own current imagination. I have my own current status. And with that current state only I will process. So it's very natural way. What I can do? With intensive efforts, I can increase the speed. I can increase the speed of transformation with the intense effort. That's it.
A new contradiction has emerged in the space now. When we are talking about everything is in harmony and everything is self-organized in the space, and when natural disasters are occurring, just like tsunami, earthquake, cyclone, can we take it as a part of harmonizing all these units? It's an initiative of this existence to make all these things to be in harmony. And secondly, when two aircrafts are colliding with each other in the space, can we take it as a part of harmonious initiative of the existence also?
See, it's a natural organization, but it is not a favorable sensation to the human being. So human beings say that it's a natural disaster. But it's a natural organization, right?
Yes, ultimately it is the initiative of the existence. No?
Yeah, it's a natural organization.
Yes.
From west coast to the south coast of India, even the place we are sitting now, Chennai, 60,000 years ago, this was water. Just imagine if that earthquake activity had not happened. But it has happened. That is the reason we are sitting here. That is how we are sitting here, right? So everything happening in the nature with this natural law. Sometimes this natural law are not favoring to our sensations. They are not favorable to us. That is what we perceive. And we call them as a disaster. But if I have this clarity that, and you know why do we call it as a disaster? Because many buildings get collapsed, many body dies. Because somewhere we have this perception that if I construct a building, it should not collapse. So I say it is a disaster. But if I am able to see that the formation and deformation is there, right? Even there will not be cyclone, the building is going to collapse. It will collapse. Now no disaster.
Rather than becoming unhappy, it is always wise to accept all these happenings in a natural way.
To understand.
Yeah.
To understand it is happening, it's happening with certain rules. So if I understand the rule of existence, the rule of nature, I'm in harmony. Here, again the property, right? When you are saying this calamity, it's basically effects. Effects are happening. Effects of one unit on the another units are happening. But if I understand that these effects are happening because of certain rule, the rule of existence and the rule of nature, and if you understand this rule, then at the level of your thoughts, you have that organization, the systematic thoughts are there. So you are in peace. Otherwise, you loses the peace of your mind. So here, by understanding the effect of one unit on the other, by understanding the properties of units of all these four orders, I can ensure the peace within me. And this is different than the happiness. Okay? Now something is going on here, and it's always going on. Broadly, we can say that the things which is going on in me are the thoughts. Right? We do this exercise, observing the thoughts. But then at this moment some thoughts are going on. Okay? So those thoughts we need to observe and not our thinking. The thoughts which are going on in me at this moment, that I need to observe and not my thinking. Because there is possibility, if I start observing, I may think something. I may start thinking that tomorrow the workshop will over, by what time I will catch my train, I will go home, and what my spouse will say. This is thinking. But while I am going through this thinking, some thoughts are there in me. So those continuous thoughts which are there in me, that I need to observe. Okay. When you are thinking, it may appear that you have only one single thought. But if you start observing your thoughts, then you will find that there are multiple. Sometimes when you are thinking, it may appear like it's a very systematic. But when we start looking into our thoughts, we observe that there is so many randomness. So observing thought and then thinking on something and observing it. Both the things are required, and I need to observe both. From there, I can start observing my thoughts, the thoughts which are going on in me. Okay? So the thoughts are here. It's going on here. And why the thoughts are going on here? The thoughts are going on about the effect and the impact of other units on me. I went to take sign on my leave application for this UHV 3, and my HOD said no. Now what is this? Effect, right? And now this will go in my thought, and I would continuously taking these thoughts in me, right? When I'm taking this thought in me, I can start looking into the feeling behind it. We are just taking an example. So what will be the feeling behind it? If this thought is making me uncomfortable within, so what feeling I have? It will not work just by saying that there is a feeling of opposition. Right? I will not be able to look into my feeling then. It's a very broad category, relationship and opposition.
So the feeling I had is I am applying for a course or a FTP which is going to benefit me as well as the university, but why they are not signing? So that was running in my mind. Then I thought, okay, the trust has to be built, so we will give some strong document. So
Okay,
immediately.
Good. Thank you. See, it's not the feeling of opposition only. But now, what? The trust. So the feeling of opposition which is going on in me is due to the lack of trust in me. Because what I thought, if I go to the office and if somebody signs on my leave application, the other person has a trust on me. Now this feeling I am generating within me is due to the lack of trust in me or in the other person. What do you think? The other person doesn't have trust in him, or I do not have trust in me?
But yeah, actually, one incident happened. One gentleman took on-duty leave, but he was enjoying at home. Because that one person made some mistake, he was caught later and the action was taken. So now that impression has come to all the people. So now everything we need to produce a strong document. It is like I have trust on me. I believe that mail has come. One mistake happened that has been carried out throughout the years. It happened in 2014-15. I don't know.
Yeah, I got the whole story. I'm just bringing your attention on this particular thing. When the other person is not signing on my leave application and I have this irritation within me, the cause is lack of trust in me or the lack of trust in other person. What do you think? Who is lacking the trust? Am I lacking the trust or the other person is lacking the trust? Why I am lacking the trust? Because I thought that if other people behave as per the way I want them to behave, the trust is there. Because something which is favorable to me, if it is happening, the trust is there. So, because of such sort of feeling, if I am getting disturbed, so is this the feeling or do I need to go to more subtler level? Now, what is the issue? I have not understood the trust. What is the issue? My happiness is basically whether the other people sign or not sign. Sensation, if someone signs, sensation of happiness. happiness from sensation, sensations from the favorable feelings. This way I can go deep. Now, why all these things is happening? Why these feelings are getting into me? The competition, why it is going on in me? Go little further down, try to understand, do this analysis part. Because all these effects, the property effects is happening at the level of thoughts. So we have to do this analysis part. We have to analyze it very properly. So when we do the analysis and conclude, so if I go to the little deeper level, then I find that, okay, I am expecting to be happy by the favorable behavior of the other. Is this happiness? No. Now what do I need? I need to understand what is happiness. So what is happiness? To be in the state of harmony. Now how do I develop this state of harmony within? By understanding coexistence, realization, by realization within, by development of understanding within, and by contemplation within. For that, what do I need to do? Aware of myself and doing this exercise. So whenever any thought is there, and if that thought, if you try to see the feeling behind that thought, and if that feeling is not comfortable, then without reacting to that feeling, this analyzing to the deepest level is required. And then as we do the analysis part of it, if we let it open, that also loses our peace. So I need to conclude it, a firm conclusion. And what is that firm conclusion? I am not able to understand what is happiness, and that is the reason I have become unhappy. Correct? That is the reason I have become unhappy. If I do this analysis part at very initial stage, we are just taking this as an example. Okay? So it's not your personal case, but we are just taking this as an example. If I understood this at that very initial stage, that since last 1 year, if everybody is applying for the leave application, need to have substantial documents to support, then before I put my leave application, I will arrange to get all these documents. I will remain in harmony. I will remain in peace, right? But if these thoughts are not organized, which means if I am not in the peace, then I may not be able to take decisions correctly. The same situation could have been handled in a very different way, right? I am quite aware that whenever a faculty goes to take leave, leave sanction from the department, then they ask for the proof. Do I have this proof number 1, proof number 2, proof number 3? No. Go get it. Attach with the application, submit it. Simple. You are in a peace, other person is also in the peace. Okay, so this continuously, at least we can, at the level of information, we can start collecting the information, start gathering the information. What is the meaning of coexistence? What is the meaning of space? What is the meaning of submergence? What is the meaning of interconnectedness? What is the meaning of mutual fulfillment? What is the meaning of enrichment? What is the meaning of cyclic? What is the meaning of harmony? What is the meaning of relationship? What I expected in relationship? If we develop all this content, the contemplation will start. But then focus is within or outside. That matters a lot. The focus is in within or outside. If the focus remains within, most of the time, you will be in a state of harmony. Right? The moment you focus outside, you will lose your harmony. Now start observing when you become unhappy, when your focus is out. Whenever your focus is out, you are bound to be unhappy. Because that outside focus is not the complete focus. Outside focus is with only expectations of favorable feeling. But that complementaritiness, if it is missing out, then we can be unhappy. So I can focus outside, I can focus inside, and I can identify my complementaritiness, I can be at the peace. Correct? And the complementaritiness can be understood only by accepting the relationships. Which means again the focus is inside. You are making some plans to do outside with the people, but where the planning is taking place? Within. And this planning is taking place with my higher activities. Okay? Now these are the 6 steps. Very important, like all the time to evaluate ourselves, our center of living. So where am I? Here, 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 here. At least my center of living is where? Most of the time. What is in my imagination? Salary, when do I invest, where do I invest, bank balance, car, this cloth, that cloth, this AC, that AC, this car, that car. So my center of living is physical facility. Correct? Sometime it is there, which means the center of living is not physical facility. So we need to identify our center of living, right? Whether the center of living is the body. So the maximum efforts, body. Right? Whether my center of living is the sensation. Who enjoys sensation? Self. If you don't attach yourself with any sort of sensation, would you have pleasure of it? No. You can eat hundreds of gulab jamun, but if you don't attach your sensation with it, you would not have pleasure of eating gulab jamun. Even if you don't eat any gulab jamun, but still you can enjoy the pleasure. Because who is enjoying the pleasure of senses? So you involve the body, or if you don't involve the body, right? If you'd like to test the sensation, the testing is also happening in the self, but if you want to provide the test to the material, then only the body is required, right? So whether my center of living is the sensation, whether my center of living is feeling from others, outside. So I may not be focusing more on 6, 5, 4, but 3B. Or I am focusing on feelings from within, right? Feelings from inside. Or the upper thought, 2C. I am ensuring these feelings within me unconditionally and continuously. So where is my center of being? If anybody wants to reflect on this, for you, where is your center of being? 3A, okay. Yes, for you.
Sir, class where none of the faculties were ready to go, and HOD requested you are the only person to go and handle the class for one particular section in our campus as such. So one student asked the question, we were discussing the feeling of relationship. Ma'am, in the class you are my teacher. Once I meet you outside the class, I could only relate you as a sister, as an aunt, as somebody else, but not as a teacher, because institution demands me that you are my teacher. How should I see my feeling of relationship to my official people is, yes, they are my colleagues. Even outside the college, I treat them as their colleagues. No brother, nothing as such. So my spheres are very limited and it's perfect. How should I deal with this?
With this question,
Yes.
yeah, you can share your experience with your student that I attended UHV-3 workshop and Ganesh ji was my teacher, but I used to say Ganesh Bhaiya. So simple, right? See, we are saying here, right? For the past 8 days, we are saying each other Bhaiya, Didi, Uncle, Auntie. See, this is just a nomination, a name, a teacher, sister, brother. These are just names, but the feeling behind it is important. If that feeling is there, then we are comfortable with it. So whether someone's called me teacher, someone's called me sir, someone's called me bhaiya, fine. Okay. My student should have this feeling of trust, respect, glory and gratitude towards me. So that is the meaning that he is accepting me as a teacher. If my student is able to see the trust, respect, affection, glory and gratitude in me, that is the meaning of bhaiya or didi. Okay?
Well, yeah, I'm coming with the same point. In one another FDP, when we have attended, they said that, that resource person said that in the workplace, when you're working in a place, so we should be treat our co-worker, that is, we should be a colleague, so we should not have any other kind of relationship, like, as ma'am said, sister, brother, or whatever it may be. And is that anything like we should not have such kind of relationship like sister or brother? Or we should be, we have to treat only as a co-worker or a colleague in our...
See, whether this is your colleague, right? This is your friend, this is your boss, this is your subordinate, your sister, your brother. This other person is human being or not? So I need to have the clarity of human-human relationship. With that clarity of human-human relationship, I can live with the feeling of relationship. I may call brother or teacher. That's hardly makes any difference. What makes a difference in my interactions with the other, that I got this clarity on human-human relationship and I am able to live with these feelings of relationship with the other. That's it.
Thank you, Bhaiya.
Correct. That's it.
Bhaiya, in the 3A, the feeling from within, when we are asking to check our observations and imagine, we could see what kind of feeling I have over every unit, every single person or everything material. All these feelings are happening within me. So just observing what is my feeling is in 3A. And sometime when we take a reference like what we have to ensure with the feeling, then we will think about the feeling of trust to be there. Now I am lacking in that feeling. The current feeling is the lack of trust, but taking a reference from what is a trust. So it is between this 2C and 3A.
Correct. Correct. This is how it goes. All this development which is happening and going to happen in this yellow block, would always be guided by the upper block. Would always be guided by the upper block. So that is how we do. We look into our current state, we evaluate our current state with the desirable state, and then again improvement in the current state. So this self-review will be continuous. That self-review is basically the verification and evaluation. So if I am in 3A, it would also mean that the 2C is also there. So sometimes I am in 2C, sometimes I am in 3A, but the center of living is where? Is it 2C or 3A? If this is the center, then most of the time I am in harmony. If this is the center, then whenever I am able to see some trouble, I visit this and I try to resolve that troubleshooting mechanism, not resolution. But if I shift, my center of living is shift to the 2C, then this is resolution. I am trying to ensure those feelings within me by understanding these three realities: the coexistence, the harmony, and relationship.
Namaste, Bhaiya.
Namaste.
My question is that one can be in the different stage at a particular point of time. Suppose right now I am thinking I am at the level 6 physical facility, but when I am taking care of my body, then I am at the level of 5, or again I am taking care of or feeling from within, then at the 3A, then again to the 6. So it can be for a person at different point of time, can be in the multiple stages in the range from 3A to 6.
See, all these things, right? If you look at the physical facility is there or not?
Yeah.
Body is there or not?
Yeah.
Sensation is there or not?
Yeah.
When we are interacting with the other, are we getting feeling from the other or not?
Yes.
When we are interacting with the other, we are sharing our feeling with the other, right? All these things are happening, but where my center is, my main focus, right? Whether I am focusing here, I am focusing here, I am focusing here.
Okay.
Okay. So what is the center of my being?
Okay.
So I need to locate that center. By locating that center only, I will be able to get into my current state and then evaluating with my desirable state. So that self-review, and with the self-review, the program for the further development.
Okay.
I have a question but yesterday I got a call from my colleague, he's my brother from another parent. That is what the relationship with me like. And he was talking about his personal issue for 1.5 hours. So far, last 1 year he didn't call me. Like even if he calls, he talk about the publications that and all he'll do, and then he'll quit. And yesterday night he called me. Before that is 1 week itself, he told me that he wanted to talk to me. And I said, okay, I'll call you back, I said, and I forgot it. And yesterday night by 9 o'clock, he called me and he was speaking with me for 1.5 hours nearly. And before this call, 1 month or 2 months back, I got a call from his wife also once. And she was telling a lot of issues about him. Okay, I said, you want me to talk with your husband? Shall I talk with him like that? I asked. And she said, no, you need not talk like that. So I didn't tell him anything that what she shared with me. And also she said that don't tell anything, whatever I'm sharing it to you. So usually I never involve in this kind of issues between husband and wife issues and all, because today they'll fight together and tomorrow they'll join. Why I need to join? That is what the thing that I usually think.
And then you want us to get involved into your issues?
No. It's not like that. But yesterday he was talking. I feel like crying yesterday. Like he cried yesterday night, and he was telling about they reached the point like applying for divorce like that, and they were having 3 kids. Like I thought of, I started thinking about those 3 kids. One is of age 7 and the other two are of twins. The second children were twins and they are of 3 to 4 ages and they are separated now. They are living separately and this is what he was discussed and I was prolongedly thinking about the children and when he started crying, like I got a feeling of fear in me, like whether he is going to do something like unwanted things. Like that I thought. Like I got a fear, that is absolute fear in me. Like I started to console him like don't think those things and all. Yeah, like you stay calm. For at least 1 month you work on yourself, like you stay calm for a quite period. The children are with their mother only. Nobody else, she's going to leave them. So keep calm and keep listen to what is happening. Everything will change like that, I said. But then I couldn't come out of that particular incident, like 1.5 hours talk. No? Out of that, I couldn't come out. Even from the morning, I was sitting there. Wherever I go, it is coming into my mind. Which means that I'm not in my state. Like always, I'm getting that, when I talk about that, I'm getting the feeling of fear. And see, if now I'm going to think of that, I'm thinking of it that also, but I want to be in my state also. Now, if I want to think on myself, I should omit that issue and I have to go out of it like that. If it is so, am I ignoring that? Am I selfish, like I'm thinking of myself alone, my happiness alone, my peace alone? Am I working on my harmony alone? If I'm going to ignore, because I want to stay stable, so that point I want to leave out of that particular thing. How I'll come out of it? How I'll work on this kind of situation? I know that it's my peace, my harmony, my happiness, everything I know. But the one very close to me is suffering a lot. He's crying, literally crying, and that feeling is affecting me a lot. Then how should I work on this type of situation?
Yeah, look at, like there are multiple questions. The question number 1, that how can I ensure my harmony? And this is what we have been talking, discussing, understanding the importance of value education since introductory workshop. Correct? I am suffering with it. I want to be happy, but I am suffering. I am having all these, issues in me. Do I want that my children should suffer the same? So these serious efforts to bring value education into our curriculum is important. At least we will be able to guide them, our children and all. So this is, the first question, your many question. Your second question of your many question is that for 1.5 years, there was like almost no communication. And this couple had a trouble. And that trouble had gone to the divorce. And now you are thinking about those 2 children and your brother. Right? That worry factor is there. One particular damage has happened. We can always take an effort to recover it. But parallelly, if we take more efforts, that such sort of damage would not happen in the future. So for that, what is required? It's required to continue efforts for my resolution, my own resolution, having this clarity within. Because now, even if you want to help your brother, you need to have some clarity. Correct? So unless I have that help in me, I can't give it to the other. So that clarity is also required. Number 3, one of the question in your question, that why should I go in this husband and wife matter? So that question is also a question of relationship. That the relationship is there, right? And I want to go into this husband and wife matter now, because I am identifying this relationship. But again, understanding that feeling of relationship, if I have that feeling of relationship, if I have that clarity on what is trust, what is respect, what is affection, then only I will be able to do a proper analysis of this whole situation. Now what is happening, I am not able to do the proper analysis of this whole situation the thoughts are becoming very disorganized and random. That is the reason you are losing your peace. But if you do the proper analysis, you can be in a peace. And with that peace within, definitely you can be a little help to your brother. Okay?
Is it not like I'm selfish and all? If I do proper analysis
See,
and
for the
think
past 1.5 years, you were quite selfish. In that sense, the way you are saying, in that sense, past 1.5 years you were selfish, but now you have the concern for your brother and his children.
I have feel
So-
like
so-
when some
wait.
issue arises in
Yeah, wait
this
a minute.
life.
Yaminika, wait. Right? So past 1.5 year, the sense of selfish you are saying, that way you are quite selfish. But now you have concern, right? Now you are becoming selfish in a different sense. You are trying to understand and you are trying to resolve this issue by putting efforts in yourself. Development efforts is not a selfish thing. It's basically with these efforts only I can participate my living in all the expanse of my being. Without that it is not possible. So realizing this existence within, understanding the harmony within, and then contemplation, understanding the participation with the feeling of relationship. Is this the selfishness?
Even yesterday when I asked him like, should I talk to your wife? Can I talk to you or else I'll convince her, shall I talk to your wife? He is also telling, don't talk to her. You need not go and talk to her like that only. Both of them are putting much of issues on either side on me, and I'm getting restless about it. That's what.
Yeah, see, sometimes, sometimes a human being just wants to share his emotions. So we can just listen to the emotions. If he's saying that don't talk to my wife, which means he's not expecting any sort of solution from you. But he's going through, right? And he's not able to handle within. So he wants to share with you. And it's a
Is
good
it not
thing.
the trust on me? Like, it is not, I want to make sure of it. It's like whenever they want to
What
share.
what I'm saying, he just wants to share the difficulty he's going through with someone. And he have identified you as that someone, as one of that someone. And you would not be the only someone. Okay? If you would just listen to him, he will share with you. If not, he will share with you his another sister. But in such cases, if you have time, at least we can listen to those people. Right? Just listen what they want to share. That's it.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you.
We listen to the television also, right? If 2-3 hours I can listen to the television, then at least half an hour I can listen to the human being. Any question? Is the development of this sanskar, right? The development of sanskar. And in the development of sanskar, the first important factor is the environment. My sanskar at this moment and the environment. There is the environment around us, but who select the environment? Environment is selecting you or you are selecting the environment? I am selecting the environment, right? Let me give example of Shiva Bhaiya. Shiva Bhaiya is not the participant, right? He is on the job. He works in the mathematics department of this university. So he has to be there in the department, but he is selecting the environment. Whenever he have free time, he is coming here. is sitting here, correct? What do you think that? Is he the only person in this campus who have done UHV-2 an introductory workshop? Is he the only person who is aware in this campus that UHV-3 workshop is going on? There are many people, right? What those many people must be doing at this moment? They are selecting their environment, right? So each one of us selects our environment. Each one of us select our environment. So if this happiness is important for me, then I will keep selecting the environment in which my development will happen, correct? So one of the things of selecting environment is at least visualizing my position in the whole existence. See, how much environment we are able to select till today? Tell me. What are the environment we are getting exposed to?
Selecting the environment, feeling of happiness.
Yeah. The maximum environment, the area of our environment for the maximum time. What sort of environment we select to? How many people is our environment? Some sort of activities, some sort of sports, some sort of politics, right? Some sort of entertainment. And even if you look into the whole area of that environment is very narrow. How many times we visualize that there is a Coimbatore city next to Chennai, there is another city Tanjavur, there is another city Mamlapuram, there is another city Trichy, and in all these cities lots of people are living. How many times I have the visualization of these people? How many times I have this visualization of the people who are living in the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu? Right? So, more and more we create such sort of environment of visualization within, an environment for, because this environment is going to participate and contribute in the development of my next sanskar. That am I able to see that there are different states of India, and in each of the states there are people living, and they are also human beings like me. How many times I am able to see that there is a neighboring country to India, and there are neighboring country to India? How many times we are able to see that we are in one continent and there are other continents also? Or my environment is my mother-in-law, my husband, me, my HOD. The broader environment we will make, and then the complete environment will go. So when we start developing this broader environment around, then lots of curiosity gets generated. What is the curiosity gets generated? How the Keralites people must be, because I am in Tamil Nadu, right? Then the next curiosity will come, how the Sri Lankan people must be, because they are the neighboring country. Then the next curiosity will come, how the Australian people must be, because it's a neighboring continent. Then understand human being, because if you understand human being, you will understand the human being in Kerala, you will understand the human being in Sri Lanka, you will understand the human being in Australia. So we create the environment of understanding human being. So how this environment can be created? That there is possibility traveling from one place to another place, I may listening to something, some music, some lecture, some meeting, some session, right? So I have this Bluetooth device with me, I can listen to the lectures, I can listen the content which will enrich my next moment of sanskar. This self-exploration. So I am in some sort of environment. Okay, environment, for example, I am watching this television. That is also an environment. And there is someone comes on the television and says that if you buy this, you will be happy. Explore within. If I buy this, will I going to get happiness? Or if I buy this, it is going to provide some sort of physical facility to nurture and protection of the body. If every time, if we keep looking into our current sanskar and search for an environment, get ourselves into an environment where our next sanskar will get enriched, and we do this exploration, this also helps us in speeding up our transformation. Otherwise, the transformation has got its own speed, but then we can speed up our transformation. Time t.
Finally, t plus 1.
Yeah, the sanskar at time t, which means at this moment, environment at this moment, the time t, exploration at this time t is equal to the sanskar at time t plus 1, my next moment sanskar.
Okay.
Okay, my next moment sanskar. And my current sanskar I am going to carry in my next moment.
Like I'm stuck up in identifying where my center of living is.
See, I'm stuck up, right? I'm stuck up in identifying what is the center of my being. That is a question. That's a question. In the lunch time, Suman Didi came to drop lunch box, and she was wearing something on her finger, right? So I thought it's to check BP, some small device is there, na? So that kind of device was there. So I asked Suman Didi, what is that? So she said, this is telemeter. Telemeter. I said, what is the meaning of this telemeter? So she said that I'm observing my feeling of opposition, and whenever the feeling of opposition comes, I press the button, so that it gives one count. So whenever the feeling of opposition is coming, she is pressing the button. Every year she is checking how many numbers are there now. Every hour she is checking. So in the 1 hour, 5 times. 2 hours, how many times? Whole day, how many times? Correct? So if I am not able to directly look within every moment, then such sort of things need to be done. Our friend, Raghavendra Bhaiya, he is in Bhopal, Indore, right? So once he was saying that all those places in his house and the office where he normally goes and sit, he has written a sheet, time to look within. Time to look within. So on his mirror, it's written time to look within. So when you go for the brush, you see that time to look within. So while doing the brush, at least the attention goes inside. On his chair, it is written time to look within. Next to the television, it is written time to look within, right? Even he said on the dining table also written time to look within. So all those places wherever he spent the time, he has written time to look within. So we can do such sort of exercise. At least we can look into our thoughts, and whatever the thoughts are going on, whatever the feelings are going on, observe it for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and keep writing it. With those thoughts, with this exercise will be a help for you to find out your center of your being. If you are not able to see to my center, because at this particular moment of time, I may have one particular center, right? But where my center of being is, that I need to observe consistently for at least 1 month. So the mean average of this one month will be the center. At this moment, it may be physical facility as the center, but the mean of next 1 month will be the center. Okay?
I have one more question, Bhaiya. Yesterday there was a question regarding what you do for yourself to be here. And quite it was not answered, as Ganesh Bhaiya said that it can be answered later. And is it possible to get a clarity on that?
No, I mean, sir has asked this question for ourselves. I don't think sir will answer to this. He just simply asked us, what have you done for you to be there, yourself to be here? Now you need to think about it. You need to reflect on it.
Yeah,
have you
but
done anything?
that's like Didi said that maybe I may be a reason for the self of my child to be here.
See, the question was for you, for yourself to be here, for your body to be here. Have you done anything for that?
No.
Then why do we carry so much of ego?
Okay.
Sir actually wanted to draw attention on this particular point, that I have not done anything for myself to be here. I have not done anything for my body to be here. Then why do I carry so much of ego in me? I am not able to evaluate myself correctly. And that whenever I carry, have so much of ego, my center of being is somewhere here, S1 or S2. Correct? In that sense, I mean, I don't know why he has asked the question, but that was the sense for me. That I thought that he wanted to draw my attention that you have not done anything for yourself to be here and your body to be here. Now, what you can do, the body is there, the self is there, the coexistence is there, so understand coexistence. The body is in harmony, so understand harmony. The self has a provision to be in a harmony, so realize that potential and get yourself into the harmony. So that was the sense to me. So I have not done anything for the self, I have not done anything for the body. It is there as coexistence is there.
Thank you, Maya.
Why do we place that shift S1 between 5 and 4, S2 between 3B and 3A, S3 between 2B and 2A? Is there any basis for that?
Yeah. I mean, when you see the sensation, the self is understanding the sensation. Who is enjoying the test?
The self.
Is the self. Here is purely body, has no understanding. Similarly, physical facility has no understanding. Right? So from I am the body and physical facility is everything, from there I am doing this shift that the body has a sensation and that sensation is the center of my living, center of my being, right? So this is shift, it's shifting from here, okay. So when we look within, then there is possibility that the body and the physical facility, which means money and the body, is everything for me. Even I am not looking into the sensations, right? Whether it's creating some sort of impact on the body, that awareness is also not there. Just totally indulge into the physical facilities with an assumption that I am the body. Then if you look here, that here at least that one shift is taking place. What that shift is taking place? The sensation is also there. So the body is there, the sensation is there, and this sensation is to nurture the body, is to protect the body, is to do the right utilization of the body. So this sort of set of proposal is also there, plus the assumptions related to the sensation is also there. So at least my awareness, level of clarity and awareness is more. So it's into the another shift. Now when the sensation is the center of my living, is the center of my being, so feelings from the other becomes important to me, because that's also a sensation. When someone say good things about me, it's a sensation, right? Here I don't bother what the other people are talking about me. Because what I think that I have this physical facility and I have the body, and this is enough for me. So whether others say good about me, others share the feelings, others don't share the feelings. Like someone other day, I'm just giving this example. I don't remember. I think Vijay Shri, yeah, she was sharing that in a friend circle, these two people like husband and wife, the fight is going on, right? This fight is going on between these two people, and you know why the fight is going on? And while the fight goes and after the fight goes, this husband says that this is my television, this is my TV, don't turn on, right? This is my fan, don't switch on this fan, this is my AC. So look at, you are not even able to see the other person. That wife is there and I am there. So if she wants to turn on the fan and if it is hot, she can turn on the fan. But if she turns on the fan and I say, this is my fan, this is my AC, this is my television, I mean these are the common physical facilities, right? So that's basically 5 and 6. Right? That is 5 and 6. From there at least I am shifting. I am having some clarity about the feelings are important in relationship. Expecting this feeling from the other. Body also has got sensation. At least sometimes I am getting aware that the food is to nurture the body. So shift is taking place. Right? Shift is taking place. Before this, I consume the food just as a physical facilities. But now I am looking at the food as to nurture the body. So this shift is taking place. So that's why it's up. Okay?
When we take food, some sensation is happening, physical facility.
Yeah, just try looking into it, right? When we take food, some sensation is happening, right? That the taste of that food, you enjoy or you don't enjoy only when you attach your sensation to it. Otherwise, you don't enjoy or don't enjoy the taste. So the sensation, right, is there. But then this shift is basically indicating that I am getting aware the body has a sensation, and the guided sensation is to protect the body, to nurture the body. Okay. So that shift is there. All right. Eventually, like in one line, what we can say, this realization within, understanding the harmony in the nature, and then contemplation can trigger out my desires so that my B2 block remain guided with the B1, and slowly and gradually I can work for my development. Okay. Thank you.
So let me welcome Ganesh ji for the next session. Over to you, Bhaiya.
So now we'll sum up all that we have been discussing in last 6 days, 7 days now.